I bet you're wondering how I got a half a gallon of ice cream all over me. Well, it all started with a joint I wasn't trying to bag. Trash-to-Piece Theater presents the Vendetta Vagina.
Picture it.
Early 2000s, Usher made a banger for men who got ghosted. Tweet dropped the most underrated album of the decade, and Justin Timberlake hit the high falsetto in Cry Me a River. Except that wasn't him, it was Marsha Ambrosius, and I'll never look at him the same again. Philly was poppin', and every weekend me and the squad was out sowing wild oats like we were all King Jaffe Joffer's sons. This one particular Friday night, Junie and Stymie and I were driving up Broad Street and pulled up on a car full of Johns. I was flirting hard with the driver of the other car. Stymie and June started talking to two other Johns in the car, and none of us was flirting with the fourth girl in the car who was wild. So we get him to pull over. I'm about to get out the car to be a gentleman. And by gentleman I mean, I was gonna get out the car so John could see I was tall. As I was about to get out, the ass John got out and walked over to my window and handed me a phone number on the back of a double mint wrapper. I was so irked. Ass interference, defense. John, no one was trying to get at. 15-yard penalty, repeat first down. The driver just shrugged, and Rika Alexander gave me the sucks to sucks face before walking back to the car. I pulled off defeated by cock-blocking Connie's antics. Somewhere between Spring Garden and Girard, I tossed the phone number out the window and continued on doing hood rat shit with my homies. Fast forward some time. I'm with Bruce hanging at Lou and Choose, which is a North Philly bar that's hood, but it's like faux bougie hood. It's like a step up from the Stinger. Lou and Choose is where Jones went to try to meet dudes who used to sell drugs but then got jobs for SEPTA fixing the buses and shit. So we in Lou and Choose looking like meals to hungry Johns, and I noticed GLORIA EH-STEFAN across the room, and she noticed me pretending not to notice her. As the night went on, Bruce started dancing with Hindering Helen's homie. Some boy asked impeding Amani to dance, and she was putting it on, boy. That made her go from to meh real fast. So Bruce was at the bar with her homie who was bad, and stonewalling Stephanie was hovering. I was in the cut trying to pretend like I ain't see any of it, but he walked over and asked me to be a wingman. When I hesitated, he reminded me of all the times he had to entertain booger wolves while I was laying my game down quite flat to the not booger wolf. I started talking to barricading Becky, and after a while, Bruce and the cute joint decided they were leaving together. Bruce asked me to take obstructing Ophelia home. I didn't want to deny my homie random Lou and Shoes draw, so I took the joint home. So on the ride home, she admits that when she first slipped me her number, she knew I wanted to talk to her homie. She said Driver John wanted to talk to me too, but she was tired of Driver John always bagging the men she wanted. I guess I respected her shooting her shot, even though I wish she shot that shit at a different basket. So we driving and actually getting along, laughing, singing and whatnot. And then she started rubbing my leg, and then her head disappeared in my lap, which was hella weird because I had no idea where she lived, so she had to get real creative giving me directions. We pulled up outside her spot, and by that time, I was harder than Superman's kneecaps. She opened her door, and as I was about to cut the car off, she stopped me and said, "Where you think you going? If you want to finish, maybe you should try to find my friend." Then she smooth walked off, and I ain't even argue. Deadass just stood there like. Fast forward a couple months. It's Greek picnic weekend, and by this time, it wasn't as lit as it used to be in the 90s, but it still popped. The Greek was mad interesting. During the day, fraternities and sororities held dope events including step shows and community service gatherings. But at night, there was droves and droves of people who never pledged a damn thing other than John Phi John. That was us. We always posted up down South Street. Back then, I had a thing for PG County, Maryland Jones, and I could spot them from a mile away. A Philly accent and some baby powder oil was their kryptonite. I was waiting for some Hyattsville hottie or some Bowie baddie to walk by, but instead, Stoppy Top Tisha and her homies walked past. She whispered to her homies and they laughed. She walked by and I was like, "You got me good." Payback's a bitch though. It got late and we ended up posted on Germantown and Erie outside the Clock Bar. Head halting Haley walked over and was like, "Can you take me home?" She grinned and said, "No, seriously, we have unfinished business." And what I look like? But then she started saying she had some ice cream at home that needed to be all over me. Ice cream? What kind of freak do you think I... So my basic ass is back at her spot, and honestly, I was sitting there waiting for her to tell me to go find Driver John again. But she actually went to the kitchen and came back with some ice cream. Now, I was thinking she was gonna come back with some vanilla bean, or chocolate, strawberry, Neapolitan at the very least. Jawn came back with fucking butter pecan ice cream. I'm like, it's about to be nuts on my nuts. Am I about that life? So Lactose Linda started spreading that shit all over me. And in my head, I was bitching because that shit was cold. But I mean, we all gotta die. And if head and hypothermia was how I was meant to go out. Rest in peace to that Briars. She used the entire carton. And once she finished that off on me, she finished me off too. I was laying on her living room floor, sticky as hell, wondering if my lactose intolerant ass could get gas from osmosis. And that's when it dawned on me. She was really about to try to turn me out. She already gave me the TWIRLY Deluxe Dessert Delight. Fuck that. Trying to have me on a new carton of Ben & Jerry's, Snatch Soul Sundae, and then give me the Vendetta Vagina? Nah. So as she was in the kitchen opening cabinets, locating where she needed to clean up that puddle of mixed liquids, I jumped up, put my pants back on, and me and my dairy dick walked out and headed down the street. As I got to the car, my phone started blowing up. It wasn't Pasteurized Patty though, cause she ain't had my number. Payback's a bitch. It was the homies. They was at one of our normal weekend post-hoeing meeting spots, the McDonald's on Brew and Hunting Park. It was on my way home, so I stopped by. I still saw homogenized Holly out and about. Every once in a while she asked for a ride home and I'd be like, nah, fuck that. I just knew she had some wild shit planned. Hella years later, I saw her at Arita's with who I'm assuming was her man. He had a water ice, she had ice cream. That lucky soulless bastard. Thank you so much for watching Trash to Peace Theater. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Also, please consider donating to our Patreon to help the channel grow. Patreon patrons receive additional bonus episodes, so there's that too. This is all possible because of your support. Thank you.